Another week, another rundown being another. Oh man, the benefit of actually taping, they didn't actually see me fuck up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's another week where the reality of wrestling will get run down. Another week, and thank you for joining us for Wrestling Reality Rundown. We are here to chat all the happenings in the pro wrestling world. And here I am, the Red Standard. Stop. You don't have to. Hey, and here I am joined by the freshly combed SKF Effect. And we are also joined by one half of the future AEW Tag Team Champions with TJP. We have Live 1122. I saw that. You see that. All right, friends. So we are here to chat some Clash of Champions happening this Sunday on the WWE Network. So before we run down the card, of course, Steven has been closely following. What?
Said, run down the card.
That's the reality of it for this wrestling pay-per-view.
All right.
Sports entertainment or entertainment, whatever they're calling themselves. But before we run down the card again, I know Steven has been following the King of the Ring tournament very closely, and this past Tuesday, it was announced that the King of the Ring finals will not be happening, originally advertised on this pay-per-view, but on Monday Night Raw. So I would ask Steven for his thoughts, but I think he's making it very apparently clear.
You had so many great people in that tournament. And you got Baron Corbin in the finals. Bless Chad Gable. I'm hoping for King Gable at the end of it all. But Baron fracking Corbin? Really? And then you toss in Shane McMahon as a replacement at the last minute? WWE, what you thinking? What is all that? What is this? You could have done something really cool with this tournament with King Ricochet or King Joe, King Ali Ababa. But no, this is where you're going with it. Meh.
I would have loved to have seen Samoa Joe win this because I feel like he was definitely... This would have been something to kind of... If they were planning on doing anything with Joe, I feel this could have been one of those things where they always tout the King of the Ring to be that launching pad or something to kind of help further someone's career. But Baron Corbin, I mean, we all know my thoughts on Baron Corbin. I'm kind of a little calm collected right now to kind of delve into that, but
Liv just swoons over him, so
can't help it.
Number 2 on her hotties list. But I don't know, Gable to me as well doesn't like... I just find his character to be kind of like, I don't know, he doesn't have that charisma to him because like I see some of his promos, not only on TV but also some of his self-produced videos, and it just kind of comes across a little, I don't know, like someone that's really kind of trying to force like a character. He's a great wrestler. Don't get that. Obviously, he's like a great wrestler, former Olympian, but I just think character-wise needs a little bit more help. And just, I don't know, just the thought of like King Shorty G. That's going to be quite interesting if that happen.
I don't get it. I really don't.
The Clash of Champions pay-per-view, the matches that we have announced so far, we have 11, and I believe all the championship matches have already been announced so far.
Except for something for the best championship they have, and that is the 24/7 championship. So there has to be some shenanigans that'll be taking place.
Most definitely. The matches we have here. So we will go down, give our thoughts, our predictions, our analysis. Just recently announced, we have AJ Styles taking on Cedric Alexander for the United States Championship. The interesting thing here is that this is pay-per-view is taking place in Cedric's hometown, Charlotte, North Carolina. So that means AJ Styles is going to win.
I mean, every now and then someone gets lucky with it. But if AJ's not going to be put in the Universal title picture anytime soon, I guess he does have the better chance of winning. And let's face it, if someone from Charlotte, North Carolina is going to win, it's probably not going to be Cedric Alexander. Sadly. Liv?
I mean, I want Cedric to win, but I don't think.
Raise your hand if you want Cedric to win. See? We all want him to.
No, I know, but I mean,
Yeah,
that's
no,
what I'm
WWE.
going at. I don't think he's going to, but
Yeah.
I would love him to.
I still think Cedric is kind of like a work in progress because they just kind of recently been committed to kind of pushing Cedric as of late. I don't think he's there yet. We saw last Monday on Raw getting a pinfall victory over AJ in the 10-man at Madison Square Garden. It's kind of sets up the match, but does it set up Cedric for something even further? Like we've seen Cedric get the win over AJ and guys like Drew Galloway or McIntyre, but it just remains to be seen how they'll follow up with that going forward. Because like, yes, you have him beat these guys, but is there anything to it if nothing's going to come about it? Like you're just going to have him, stuck in the mid card or lower in the card.
Yep. So time will tell for that one. Next match, it warms my heart, but it's going to break my heart. The women's tag team titles of Fire and Desire, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, challenge Team Besties, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. All right. I like Sasha and I like Bayley. I love the Iconics. But Alexa and Nikki Cross have been the most entertaining, most interesting tag team champions since they created these belts. It's been a better story. It's been more put to it.
They've been getting wins.
They're actually on air. So, all in all, I love it. I do wish there was more to it than just 1 week Mandy and Sonya decided, hey, we want to challenge. They got to win. And suddenly they're the contenders. But I think it'll be a fun match.
Yeah. I think this one's just going to be like Alexa and Nikki getting another win. Who were the ones that won the titles at WrestleMania again?
The Iconics.
Okay, because I was thinking, I'm pretty sure whoever might win this match, which I'm thinking Alexa and Nikki are gonna win because they haven't really done much with Mandy and Sonya. I think we'll see them challenging Bayley and Sasha in the future because I think there is something to them winning that could be interesting. Liv, your thoughts?
No, I agree with Caesar. I think that it's basically at this point now just all a setup to get the belts back on Bayley and Sasha. So I don't think that they're really going to flip-flop too much with it yet, hopefully. But we'll see.
We'll see. Depends if those two end up as the singles champions. But next up is the one non-championship match taking place at Clash of Champions. It's Roman Reigns versus the very surprisingly entertaining, well-spoken, and has surprisingly come off as quite the awesome heel, Eric Rowan. I'm not sure where they were trying to go with this whole surprise attacker on Roman Reigns bit. But ever since they were actually revealed it to be Rowan and he got on the mic, a dude's been killing it. They've never let Rowan have a chance on a mic before. Dude's been entertaining to me. I've enjoyed it. And honestly, I really hope he either gets the win so it helps further him along, or it at least ends in disqualification and he was attacking Roman, or double DQ, something like that to help save his character that they just now started creating.
I just think that it's weird because it's between Eric and Daniel Bryan. Obviously, Daniel Bryan's the more over. And they're definitely trying to kind of bring Eric Rowan up. but I don't know exactly if like going against Roman Reigns would be the best choice. Um, but it remains to be seen like what the end game for this feud is, because it seemed at first it was going to be Roman versus Daniel Bryan, but it seems like they switched their minds and they're putting Eric Rowan in the spot. Will Daniel Bryan even be part of this going forward? It remains to be seen because he wasn't involved on SmackDown this past Tuesday. So
Just
I
remember, he hates liars.
exactly. But I don't know. I feel that that's interesting. The fact that there was no Daniel Bryan this week, you would think going into this match, but if it with it being a no DQ match, I could kind of see maybe maybe him getting involved and maybe helping Eric get the win. But I don't really see that happening against like
Oh,
Roman.
that's true enough. I stand corrected. It is a no DQ match, so hopefully it'll be, if anything, double count out if they don't let Rowan win. But guys, Rowan needs to win. Invest in him right now, please. For the Raw Women's Championship, it is the suddenly returned Blueprint Sasha Banks.
What was the other one she had? She had like two nicknames this week.
I don't remember what the other one was. I just remember more emphasis was put on Blueprint versus the man, Becky Lynch. I'm not ready for Becky to lose the belt yet. The only reason I'm okay if Sasha wins, I'd be okay, is if that means that Bayley beats Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and knock out 2-for-1 there. Becky is defending her championship against Sasha. Bayley is defending her championship against Charlotte. I would love to have Becky and Bayley walk out as champions. I feel like that's not going to happen. It's either going to be Becky and Charlotte, or it's going to be Sasha and Bayley. And if it keeps the belt off of Charlotte, I'm kind of all for it for a little bit.
To kind of continue from your point, Steven, because like I do see that happening, but mostly I do think Charlotte is going to beat Bayley, and I do see Becky beating Sasha. And kind of going forward from my earlier point, I do see Bayley and Sasha kind of winning the tag titles, and you kind of have like a bit of a rematch from last Monday where you have like all the championships on the line. Maybe something like
I
that.
kind of refute that and go the exact opposite way. I think they'll have them win and win the tag belts so they can run the division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
really cool to do.
That's also another good thing too, because I do see that happening. I do see, the Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion being tag team champions soon, and I do think that's going to be Bayley and Sasha, of course.
But it could also be Charlotte and Becky.
I don't really think that would work because, of course, like you, especially like, well, even though like we're going to talk about a match about two opponents being tag team champions. I mean, like you just have Charlotte and Sasha and Becky, and it's like, I don't know. It's just that weird thing. It's like, how do you bring those two together as like a tag team? Like they were forced to be in a tag team this past Monday, but to kind of be like champions is kind of like, or it could work. Just being the dysfunctional tag team that they'll only hold it for a little while just so that they could say like, the Raw and SmackDown Women champions are tag team champions. But I kind of just see that being more for Bayley and Sasha.
Mm-hmm. All right. I want to go back to SummerSlam when I said, where does Charlotte go after this? And said, if they want to try to turn her face, they should have her lose to Trish and it will humble her. What did they do? They had her beat Trish. She comes out, oh, I am the queen of all eras, blah, I'm the best, no one's but good as me. And then they turn her face. It's the most awkward and dumbest face turn because she still acts, talks, and is treated like a heel.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny too because Bayley's still doing like her whole, like hugging. So I don't know if they're trying to make this delusional gimmick. She thinks the fans are still on her side.
Which I feel for this one because we all know that Raw titles get held at a higher prestige than the SmackDown titles. So kudos for Bayley to being like, no, I'm going to fuck the champ up and show that my belt is just as important as her belt. That's not heelish to me. That's being a good champion. It is The Miz challenging Shinsuke Nakamura, who I am sure will be accompanied to the ring by Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. And I feel so very confident that The Miz is going to end up winning the title. Also, he can tie Jericho's record.
Tie his record. He's an 8-time Intercontinental Champion right now.
He is an 8-time, Jericho's a 9-time. So I would not be surprised to see Miz become a 10-time champ sometime in the near future, just to erase that record of Jericho.
Yeah. Man, like, I love Shinsuke Nakamura. Like, a couple years ago, everyone was touting him as, like, the best wrestler in the world. And it's like, you flash forward to current day, and it's like, you know, you pretty much forget about Shinsuke Nakamura. I completely forgot he was even the Intercontinental Champion. You look at some of the promotion for this pay-per-view, the posters, Shinsuke's not even pictured on there. They've got AJ on there, but they don't have Shinsuke. So, I mean, I think Shinsuke's gonna win this one, but it's like, what does it even matter if, like, you know, they're not gonna do anything with him just because he's Japanese and he doesn't speak English that fluently? It's like, if you don't speak English fluently, like, what can they work with? That's kind of their mentality, as we've seen in prior instances.
Asuka.
I completely forgot that Asuka was even on the roster. I thought she was still on NXT.
Hey, she could be, and that could be good for USA Network.
They could move her back down since they're going on
They
TV.
could. I mean,
there's talks of people moving back over to NXT, which I wouldn't consider that a move down right now. They're going to be their own 2-hour show on USA.
Yeah.
They're the equivalent brand. So I vote Miz.
I vote Shinsuke.
I think Miz.
All right. Next match on the card. It is the New Day defending the tag team titles against the Revival. Because I guess we want to do something to make the Revival seem important before they go off to be elite. Or bury them more beforehand.
I think we're gonna go with Barry.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're gonna go with Barry because I don't see Kofi losing the championship anytime soon. So if Kofi's not losing it soon, I don't think the New Day are either. So I think New Day are winning this one.
I'm good for New Day. That's what I figure for it. Next up, it is a triple threat match for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. It is Lince Dorado versus Humberto Carrillo versus
The cousin of Hector Garza Jr., by the way.
Drew Garlic. I just lost Caesar. It's focusing only on Liv right now. For my comment, I feel like it's attacking me.
It should be. It should be attacking you for that comment.
It's going to get worse because my vote is on Lindsay.
Honestly, I love Drew to death, but I think it might go Lindsay too.
I want my boy to win.
I would love for it to stay Drew, but I think they're putting a big focus on Mexican wrestlers right now.
Woo.
So
that USA. Well, yeah,
and the switch down to NXT. Well,
I'm about to say something we'll talk about later, but yeah, something to help push on the USA Network.
And Lindsay is very big in Orlando because that's where he was basically based from. So I think that could be a good thing when they do their Full Sail tapings. Even
though he killed me in Friday the 13th before, Lindsay, you go and do it. Get that gold. Bring it to Lucha House Party. Celebrate.
Wow.
They're going to have Lucha House Party on the NXT debut.
I'm actually thinking Drew Gulak is going to keep the title here.
I think he definitely could, but I think what they'll do is change it up. They're going to want to do something.
I just feel like for Drew Gulak, his style kind of blends into NXT very well. Like he's a very well-crafted wrestler. I think is he not as popular, in NXT? Because I remember he had a match against Kushida just recently that just kind of like tore the house down as well. So
Wasn't that a submission match?
No, that was against Matt Riddle, I believe.
Okay.
Well, he could also wrestle.
Exactly.
If he
maybe even a reunion of Catchpoint, maybe.
Yeah, someone actually said that recently, that they need to get hot sauce in there. But he's ROH right now.
Next up, it is the WWE Championship match, 10 years in the making. Randy Orton challenges Kofi Kingston. I'm going to be mad if Randy wins. That's all I'm going to say about that one.
Yeah, the racist wins. How does that work?
Wait, what?
I said the racist wins? How does that work?
Ooh. Wait, what did I miss?
I know, what did I miss?
You don't remember all this crap that he used to say? That was like a big thing before.
I really don't.
Or he started calling people fat. It was that before that.
I tend not to pay attention to Randy, so.
Yeah.
I think this match is just going to be a quick. I would like for it to be a quick 6-minute match where it's just a brawl, where they're just brawling all over the arena because they hate each other, and it just seems like they just can't be contained in the ring. So how could you have a match with these two and contain them within an area?
True enough.
I'm thinking like this. I think this is going to be one of the few that are going to continue on to the next pay-per-view, and this is going to be one of the Hell in a Cell matches.
Oh, no, you're right. Last time they got double counted out, so this time it'll be like a double DQ.
Mm-hmm.
All to settle it inside of Hell in the Cell. Also, they can come to a no contest at Hell in the Cell.
Oh, God, not again.
I like, but I hate the way you're thinking, Caesar. You're probably right, because it makes sense. The long blood feud of Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston will come to an end inside of Hell in the Cell. As long as Orton fucking loses this year.
Yeah, I think Kofi's gonna be the winner at the end of this feud.
Last but not least, we have a double main event featuring some of the same people. For the Raw Tag Team titles, it is the champions, Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman, versus the glorious show-offs of Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, because Paul Heyman really likes Roode and Ziggler, so he wanted something for them to do, and they became a tag team. And they buried the rest of the tag team division. And here we are. I would be surprised to not see them walk out as tag team champions.
I would be surprised only because I don't know how they would transition Braun and Seth back into singles competition at this point.
With their following match that main events the show, when they battle each other for the Universal Championship.
Oh, that is happening? Oh, I literally have no idea. I have no idea.
Okay, so to catch Liv up on things, Seth Rollins is the Universal Champion. Braun Strowman is #1 contender for the Universal Championship.
And they're both tag team champions.
And they are the tag team champions, so they are having to defend their tag team titles before moving on to face each other for the Universal Championship.
Okay, well, that means it's going to be a squash match. Which unfortunately means that Seth and Braun keep the belts. Because I don't know if they would be prepared to be able to wrestle like two like really good matches in a row. You know?
I don't think it's going to be in a row. I think the tag title match is going to open the show so that they can give them some time to...
So they can get a 2-hour nap.
Oh, I thought you said double main event.
Well, that's because we're down to the last two matches, and those are two.
Got it. Okay, then I'll say I'll say Bobby and Robert and Dolph.
Robert and Bobby? Okay.
Robert and Bobby.
Robert and Bobby.
What? Bobby Lashley's his partner?
Ah! And as far as the Universal title match, I think The Fiend is going to cost the people the match.
For the Universal title match?
Yep. I think The Fiend is going to get involved, and that's going to lead to a triple threat Hell in the Cell match for the Universal Championship.
That's an interesting point, because if you were to do a DQ finish that wouldn't get people upset, I think an appearance from The Fiend would be the best way to do that.
Because then it's not double DQ. It's a, oh my god, no contest. Look at what The Fiend did. The Fiend just
destroyed Hell in a Cell.
Exactly.
You're basically going to have the same show at Hell in a Cell, basically.
Probably.
I could see that happening, because we have seen the Bray Wyatt kind of teasing not just one but both. The Fiend, Bray does have history with both of these two, and that's kind of been Bray and the Fiend's gimmick, is that Bray forgives, but the Fiend never forgets. So I could kind of see it that the double or no contest main event happening. But for the tag titles, I don't really know, because you would think that Robert and Dolph would win to get the tag titles away from the main event talent. But there's always the possibility of the OC also regaining the titles, and then AJ becoming the Universal Champion sometime in the future. But I'm gonna go with Robert Roode and Dolph for this one, and Steven's idea. Because the one idea I would have liked to have seen, because I know a lot of people were hoping for this on Tuesday, was The Fiend attacking Undertaker and maybe setting something up there, maybe even for Saudi Arabia.
I mean, The Fiend's been teasing. We all thought he was going to attack Austin. No. Thought maybe The Undertaker. No. So, who knows? But we know one thing is confirmed: The Fiend challenges for the Universal title at Hell in the Cell. So I'd have to picture that The Fiend is going to get involved somehow in the title picture.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it for WWE Clash of Champions. I mean, some of the matches look fun. Some of them could be entertaining.
It just seems like one of those holdover pay-per-views until we get to the next big one, which I feel is going to be Survivor Series. Either that or Saudi Arabia.
Which I'm going to be upset if we get another Saudi show and we don't get an Evolution 2. Because I still want my Evolution pay-per-view.
It seems like we're not getting it this year.
I know we're not.
I think they would have announced it by now.
Which sucks, WWE. It really sucks. I want my all-women's pay-per-view. You could do it down here in Florida. This way I could go. But be cool. But no, you don't want to do it. Women aren't important anymore. You lost Rounda, and now it's not important anymore.